So here we have a plain tissue box, and I think it needs a makeover, so I'm going to start by painting it with a white base, and I'm going to do just one coat. Here it is, all painted white with just some chalk paint, and now that we have one layer of white chalk paint down, we are going to add some decoupage paper. Woohoo! In order to do that, I'm taking Decoupage Varnish and Glue by Pentart, and I am going to apply it all over the part where I want to put the paper. Now that I have a layer of varnish and glue down, I'm going to take this rose bouquet paper by the ITD collection, and I am just gonna stick that puppy right on top. And you can see I'm not pre-cutting it because I'm gonna show you a trick later. Now I'm gonna get the wrinkles out, and you can use a little squeegee-like device I'm using or just saran wrap. With the wrinkles out, I'm going to use that varnish and glue, and I'm going to paint one more layer on top of the paper. So you're making like a varnish and glue sandwich with your decoupage paper. On the opposite side of the rose bouquet paper, we are going to use this flowers paper by Paper Designs. And we're going to go the same process. Put a layer of your varnish and glue, put the paper over it, and then put another layer of varnish and glue on top of the paper. Alright, here's that easy trick. Instead of measuring it perfectly and cutting it and then putting the paper on the side to fit perfectly, with this overlap, I'm just going to take some sandpaper and lightly sand across the edges, and that is just going to give me the perfect fit of this paper to my area. It's super easy and very satisfying. Alright, now we have the two other sides to do, and we're going to use chalk paint. I'm just taking a light pink and I am just putting it in random spots, and then I'm going to take a light green and also paint around the pink, and it's not in a certain pattern, I'm just doing this randomly. In order to blend, I'm taking a third brush that's dry, and I am just making circle motions and blending the two colors together until it gets a nice smooth transition. And you can tell it looks like a little muddy, but that's okay because we're going to do two coats on each of these painted sides, and the second coat is where I'm going to really perfect it. We are going to repeat the same process on the opposite side of the tissue box as well as the top, with random paint and then the blending. With the second coat, I really want to make the colors pop, so I'm going to put the paint in basically the same places I did with the first coat. And again, repeat the process of blending it with a dry, neutral brush afterwards. Now that the paint is dry, I'm going to coat the whole box with a clear coat so it is all nice and sealed. Now I'm going to use Bead Paste by Pentart, and I'm going to scoop a little bit out and put it in a bowl. And this is going to create like a really cool textured stencil. Bead paste dries clear, and I want this stencil to have a gold look. So I am going to mix in some gold and white pearl mica powder to this bead paste mixture, and that's gonna give me a beautiful metallic bead paste stencil. So I'm just gonna go ahead and mix that in here. Now that I have my bead paste mixture all mixed together, I'm going to apply the stick stencil to the two painted sides of my box. And I'm just going to go ahead and stick it down to this side and the opposite side. And then I'm going to spread my bead paste over the stencil. And it's as easy as that. And here it is with the stencil removed. It looks so pretty. My last steps of this box are just to add some molds that I made out of resin, and I gilded them with gold and rose gold, and I'm just gonna glue those down on my box. And that's the last step of this box, so stay tuned for the end.